we're going in. And first, just deeply grateful and thankful for the extraordinary public servants that you all are and that you continue to be. Especially at a time like now. I think the people of this state are not just appreciative, but they are deeply and eternally grateful that we have the best assemblage of leaders that not just the state of Maryland could ever ask for, but honestly that anyone in this country could ever ask for. So we're thankful. We're also really excited to be back here in Prince George's County, where if you just think about the time when we last had a cabinet meeting in Prince George's County to the time we have now being back in Prince George's County, you see what amazing progress has been made within the county that we're all really excited about. But also I think we see that in challenging moments like now, the leadership that we have in Prince George's County matters as much as ever before. And so we're grateful that we are here in one of the most extraordinary community colleges that we have in our extraordinary community college system, where we have 16 magnificent community colleges here in the state of Maryland, and one of its true leaders is Prince George's Community College, and we're thankful, President Williams, for your leadership and everything you continue to provide. And we are grateful that Prince George's Community College happens to be in the amazing county of Prince George's. And Prince George's County could not have a more extraordinary chief executive and more extraordinary captain of the ship than we have within our friend Aisha Braveboy. So Madam President, Madam County Executive, we know when the entire state government descends upon a jurisdiction, it is not simple. It is not easy. It is a logistical challenge is probably a kind way of putting it. But we want to start off and turn it over to you both, but just say that on behalf of the entire Moore-Miller administration, what a deep sense of appreciation and gratefulness we have for your leadership, for the example, and also just for this amazing hospitality that you continue to show to us. So without any further ado, Prince George's County Executive Braveboy, and Prince George's Community College President Williams.
Thank you so much, Governor, and thank you, Madam Lieutenant Governor. I love saying that. And to the entire cabinet, we are so excited to have you here today. The good news is that many of your cabinet members didn't have to travel far. They are residents of Prince George's County, so we are grateful to all of you who reside here, or, hey, who would like to reside here. It is my honor and great privilege to welcome you to Prince George's County, a county that reflects the best of Maryland's promise, innovation, and resilience. On behalf of the over 1 million residents who call this county home, we thank you for choosing to hold your monthly cabinet meeting here at Prince George's Community College. And I just want to point out that right next door is a high school called Largo High School. I know a lot about that high school because I attended that school, and it's just so amazing, really, to be so close to home. Governor, your leadership continues to remind us that government is most potent when it is people-centered. Your commitment to helping our federal employees during the shutdown, coupled with your financial commitment to extend SNAP, benefits our most vulnerable residents and demonstrates what a compassionate and responsive government looks like. For that, we want to applaud you, Mr. Governor. These measures will bring tangible relief to thousands of Prince Georgians. We have over 70,000 federal workers and over 110,000 residents who receive SNAP benefits. So what you are doing really, truly is saving lives here in our great county. Here in Prince George's County, we are proud to partner with your administration to ensure that no worker, no family, and no community is left behind. Together, we are turning shared vision into visible progress, from workforce and housing to transportation and small business recovery. Whether it's our Strike Force 311, which you'll hear about a little about later today, which is beautifying our county, to our Project Elevate agenda, which is driving economic revitalization, our work mirrors the same commitment your team has brought to the state: service with purpose and solutions with impact. Governor Moore, Lieutenant Governor Miller, members of your cabinet, thank you for walking and working alongside us as we continue to build a stronger, more equitable Maryland. I'm confident that what we begin in rooms like this will be felt in households all across our state. Once again, welcome to Prince George's County, and we look forward to our continued partnership. Thank you. Thank you all. With Madam President of Prince George's Community College, President Williams.
Good morning. Thank you so much, County Executive Braithwaite. First, let me begin by extending to all of you a warm welcome to Prince George's Community College. You are officially in OWL territory, a substation within this great county of ours. To Governor Westmore, Lieutenant Governor Aruna Miller, all of the cabinet secretaries, and your distinguished teams, welcome to Prince George's County and to Prince George's Community College. We're deeply honored to host you for your cabinet meeting right here on our campus, home of the proud Owls. We thank you so much, County Executive Braithwaite, for joining us today. We know that your leadership also is extended to not only the community college, but deeply aligned with the work of our governor. So it is so impressive for us to be able to present this aligned and strengthened presence in this place today. So it's our pleasure to welcome you and to have you here as well. For many of you, this is not your first time that you have been here. In fact, you knew your way. You knew exactly where this room was. You knew how to maneuver. Part of that is because we're deeply entrenched in your work, and we're very proud to say that is so. So welcome back, and we trust this will not be your last visit. For those that this was and is your first visit, we believe the impression that we will leave today will cause you to want to return. Welcome to this beautiful campus, to this place that represents possibility, purpose, and progress. If you look closely, you're already in the midst of it. It's not something you have to wait for. It's happening all around you. Here at Prince George's Community College, we dare to be extraordinary. It is our 10-year vision. It's not just a motto, it is indeed a movement, one that defines our students, our faculty, and our mission to serve this vibrant community. Every day, lives are being transformed within these walls, but most importantly, the change is impacting the community beyond. Our students, future nurses, cybersecurity experts, educators, entrepreneurs, public servants, they embody the spirit of Maryland's promise. The talent is everywhere, and the opportunity must be as well. We are proud to stand with leaders who share that same vision. We're proud to align with those who have a vision that is already triumphant and making the kind of change that is necessary. Leaders who believe in equitable access to education, workforce innovation, and a future everywhere that a Marylander steps on this grand land. Governor Moore, Lieutenant Governor Miller, County Executive Braithwaite, your commitment to the people of Maryland and Prince George's County inspires all of us. You have mastered the understanding that winning the decade for Maryland's economy and well-being involves growing short-term workforce programs and transfer pathways. This work is not mutually exclusive. Instead, it is compatible and it is co-requisite. It is essential for the state's most promising industry sectors to thrive and for all of our families and communities to experience it. Thank you for establishing the lighthouse sectors, the life sciences, technology, and aerospace. We're proud of the work that we're doing in AI, cybersecurity, and quantum adjacent fields. We're proud that Secretary of Labor Wu came to visit us and spend some time being exposed to those programs. We're delighted by the work that is occurring in Maryland's partnership with the Aspen Institute to drive broader transfer pathways. We could be more supportive of what Secretary Rye is doing in that work. It is indeed so significant that we allow opportunities for all students to be able to enter into these exceptionally limited access programs. That is what will make the difference. From your service corps program, of which we're proud to say we have those employees on campus right now. We should bring them by so that you can see them. They're doing remarkable work. I share that all to say it takes all of us to realize the great outcomes and the vision for success for this great state. And at Prince George's Community College, you can rest assured we are your partner. We are your provider in the midst of that. Together, we are building bridges between education and opportunity, vision and reality, hope and achievement. So on behalf of Prince George's Community College, our community, our students, faculty, and staff, thank each of you. Thank you, Governor Moore. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor Miller. Thank you, secretaries. Thank you for whatever role position you have. Thank you for the work that you do. And thank you for your deep commitment to higher education. It is making a difference. And we are indeed the front face of telling that story. We are helping to advance Maryland's bold future. We couldn't do it without you. And we're ever so grateful that you've chosen to invest in us. Again, welcome, welcome. If there's anything we can do for you while you're here, please let us know. And may the wisdom of the owl prevail throughout.
Madam County Executive and Madam President, and first I say you have no idea how nice it is for us to say that as well, Madam County Executive, Madam President. You all, your leadership is so extraordinary, and you have just helped to set the perfect tone for what today is going to be and what today is going to mean. So while it's very difficult to follow, you both, we are just so deeply grateful for having us here and for the leadership that you continue to show. And you know, it's part of the thing that that does make us deeply proud of the state of Maryland. You know, because we really just got a chance to hear on full display what makes this state so special. That this state is a state that leads no matter what. That this is a state that understands that the assignment is not to pick and choose when we forge ahead, but it's to make sure that we can forge ahead no matter what. And the leadership that you both have shown, the leadership the county and Prince George's Community College has shown, and honestly the leadership that each and every one of you have shown as our state's cabinet secretaries and state's leaders would be extraordinary in any circumstance. But I cannot tell you enough how extraordinary it is in this one and how much it matters in these times, where we are seeing every single day, and we have a front row view to how cruelty has truly become a business model from this federal administration. That we are seeing every single day, and we have a front row seat to the fact that the relationship between our federal government and our states, it's not that it's been altered. It's been severed in many cases. And this is when leadership matters most. And I think being here in Prince George's County is really also deeply important and deeply telling, because this is a place and a space that we're very proud of in the state of Maryland, because it's one of the shining examples all around the country. You know, it's an example of what real growth can look like. It's an example that the fact that, you know, creating places and ecosystems of black wealth does not have to be an oxymoronic thought. That Prince George's County has truly been a national leader when it comes to build and growth and support, and saying that we can be a place and a space where opportunity does not have to be partitioned, but opportunity is one that can be accessible to everybody. But we also know that part of the reason that Prince George's County has taken this remarkable stance and this remarkable build has also been because of the relationship that Prince George's County has historically had with the federal government. That the county executive laid it out, there are over 70,000 federal employees in Prince George's County alone, which makes up a sizable number of the over 260,000 federal employees that we have within the state of Maryland. A significant portion of these remarkable public servants, people who have devoted their life to others, public servants who did not have to do this. They chose to. They chose to devote their lives making sure that our food is safe. They've chosen to devote their life to make sure that we could find the cure to diseases. They've chosen to devote their lives to make sure that our planes are not colliding. They've chosen to devote their lives to our veterans and our seniors and our children. And to see now that we are here in Prince George's County on day 38 of a completely unnecessary and heartless federal government shutdown. That we have people in Prince George's County right now who either have not been worked or been furloughed in 38 days. And by the way, that adds on to the number that in many cases that the federal government heartlessly fired over the process of these past months. But we're also standing in a place where we have people in Prince George's County who this morning went up and went to work knowing they are not getting paid for it. But they still showed up because they know how necessary their jobs are, how necessary their work is. Over 70,000 in Prince George's County alone. And that doesn't even include the contractors. It doesn't include the uniform personnel. And so we're here in Prince George's County not just to have a cabinet meeting. We're here in Prince George's County also to be able to make news about some actions that we're taking as an administration. But frankly, these are actions that while we are proud to take them, it's absurd that we even have to take them in the first place. But that's where we are. That we know that there is no state on a long-term basis that can fill in the hole that comes when the federal government decides that they are no longer going to do their job. We know there is no state that has the resources to fill in the hole when the federal government decides that it would rather break the law than make sure children are fed. It would rather break the law than make sure people have health care. It would rather break the law than make sure people's basic needs are being met. But that's where we are. And that's why we're grateful that we have such amazing public servants in this administration. People who have just continued to define what it means to go above and beyond. You know, I'm thinking about, folks like Secretary Wu, who was helping to get financial support to federal workers that are missing paychecks. And when I say she's helping to do it, I mean she's personally helping to do it because she's spending her weekends processing payments herself. I'm talking about people like Secretary Biddle, who understood and flagged early that, it's actually wild that we have federal workers that are forced to go to work and not being paid. But by the way, they're then paying to go to work, using their own personal resources to go to an office to do a full day's work and then not getting paid for it. So then Secretary Biddle turns around and says, you know what, we're just going to make MARC and MTA transit service free for federal workers. Just show your federal badge, and that's all you need to make sure you get to work. Now we're talking about public servants like Secretary Lopez and Secretary Addix. people whose jobs every single day are focusing on human services and focusing on agriculture, and realizing that in this moment, when you're watching food being used as a weapon, food for our children being used as a negotiating tactic, and you see this really complicated but important marriage of where you see human services and agriculture are now at the tip of the spear together to deal with the issue of making sure that we can get food resources into our food banks, into our homes of worship, into our schools, into our veteran homes, to make sure that people don't have to go hungry because the federal government is broken, but that people can get the supports that they need, and to see how they continue to work together to ensure that our people know that they are not going to be left behind, even though the federal government is telling them they are on their own. Thank you both for the leadership on this. And the reality is that we could literally go around this entire table and talk about the work each of you are doing. How, for each of you, you are putting in a completely unreasonable amount of hours. You know, Secretary Weissman, I think, is your first day on the job. That you're like, okay, how do we figure out how to deal with a federal government shutdown and making sure people don't lose food? For each and every one of you who have just absolutely, you have been the definition of public service. Especially when we are seeing from Washington, D.C., the definition of what public service is not. That public service is not a self-serving exercise. Public service is not about how you can enrich yourself. Public service is not about how much pain can I tolerate seeing in my neighbor. Public service should be about a debt that we all owe to our society, and to say that we are willing to sacrifice and we are willing to take a part of our life in a sense of an appreciation of the life that this society has given us. That's what public service should be. That's exactly what you all are doing. And so at a time when we are seeing executive inaction from Washington, we are going to show the people of Maryland what executive action actually looks like. And so, in that spirit, I would like to announce 3 additional actions that the state of Maryland is taking and that I'm ordering effective today to ensure that we are going to support our people. The first, we are launching a second round of loans for essential federal employees who are working without pay, to let them know that we are going to replenish the resources that is helping them to make it through this moment. We launched our emergency loan program during week 2 of the shutdown, and with that, we have now delivered more than $1 million in loans to more than 150,000 federal workers all across the state of Maryland. And starting today, those who have received a loan can now apply for a second loan to get additional resources to help them and their families through this moment. With these 2 loans combined, Marylanders are now eligible for up to $1,400 in financial support, $1,400 to make sure they can get the food that they need, $1,400 to make sure that their children can be supported, $1,400 to make sure that their parents who might be seniors can make sure that they can age in dignity. And so for all Marylanders, we let you know that in order to have more information on it and to apply, please go to mdol.submittable.com/submit. The second thing we are doing today, we are expanding free transit service for federal employees. The Maryland Transit Authority will now offer free rides to federal employees for all core transit services. This includes local buses, this includes light rail, this includes metro subway, this includes mobility and paratransit. And all federal employees who are interested should email MTA CharmPass at mta.maryland.gov with free federal transit in the subject line to request their pass. Third, today I am signing an executive order to direct $10.1 million towards energy assistance for low-income Marylanders. So while Donald Trump says that he wouldn't fund SNAP, to add to this level of cruelty, now, it seems like he doesn't want to fund programs that make sure that families can pay their energy bills. It's what we know now and what we're already feeling, it's about to be a cold winter, and families rely on these federal programs to heat their homes. So the state of Maryland, we are going to make sure that we are doing everything in our power to ensure that we are filling this gap. So these are the 3 steps that we are taking effective immediately in the state of Maryland. Launching a second round of emergency loans, expanding free transit for our federal workers, keeping energy assistance programs running. These are some of the most aggressive steps that our state continues to make to support our people. And while they are steps that we are all eager to take because it means protecting Marylanders, we are still heartbroken that we even have to take this in the first place. Because what we are trying to do now is do a job that the federal government should be doing. These decisions come on top of the work that we've already done over the last several weeks to protect our people. And that includes the action that we took last week to cover 50% of SNAP benefits for November. And it is now a plan that we are moving forward with implementing. And just yesterday, the federal judge ordered the Trump administration to cover 100% of food assistance in November. But if there are 2 things that we have all come to know about President Trump, is that he hates judges and he loves chaos. And I'm not going to spend my time waiting for the president to get it right. We're going to move. We're going to act. And so Maryland will honor its commitment to distribute $62 million in funding to ensure that Marylanders have SNAP benefits, no matter what the President of the United States chooses to do. And to learn more about each of the steps that we are taking here, together, collectively, I encourage all Marylanders to visit go.md.gov/federal shutdown. Again, go.md.gov/federal shutdown to learn more about the initiatives we launched today or any of the other initiatives that we have now launched during these 38 days of chaos. Marylanders should know we are going to continue standing in the breach. We'll continue protecting our people, our children, our older adults, our families with Marylanders with disabilities, our veterans, our people. But the only enduring solution to this is to end this ridiculous shutdown, the longest in our nation's history. And so to President Trump, on behalf of 6.5 million Marylanders, I would just simply say this: do your job. Pick up the phone. Get the deal done. Stop this pain. Reopen the government. In Maryland, we are committed to doing our jobs. I'd ask the President of the United States to do his. And I want to thank each and every one of you for not forgetting not just the oath that we took, but the intent behind it. And to say that in Maryland, we are not just going to spend our time pushing back. We're going to spend our time pushing forward on behalf of the people that we love and on behalf of the people that we serve. And so with that, I'd like to invite Secretaries Biddle, Wool, Lopez, and Addix to come join us. And with that, on behalf of this entire Moore-Miller administration, we are going to sign these executive orders, putting everything that I mentioned before and putting them into place starting immediately. It is done.